Hello, hello, hello. Today is Tuesday. So it's time for Tuesday Talks with Tonia. And we are so happy to be here. Even though it was raining earlier, we're still downtown at the beautiful Hyatt House. We're not on the rooftop. There's a big event in town, but we're glad that TechNet is here in the city of Augusta spending money, booking rooms, using restaurants. So we're glad about that. So we've kind of moved to a different room, but we're still here live with you. And today the conversation is it's a she thing you wouldn't understand. And today my guest is Stephanie Winfrey, and she and I just recently met. She did an event called She Is Photo Shoot. And I just wanted to bring her in. I loved her energy. I loved the concept. I loved everything about what she was telling me about what she's done in honor of her mother. And so, welcome, Stephanie, to Tuesday Talks with Tanya.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. So we're gonna dive right in, and you just tell me, hey, let's talk about this or that. But first of all, tell us kind of what you do as a whole.
As a whole, I've been described as a person that I have my hands in a lot of stuff. And I'm a true believer that when you are blessed with many talents, it's an insult to God to not use everything that He's gifted you.
Absolutely.
And I have chosen to live my life to the fullest and be a blessing to others as much as I possibly can while I'm taking care of myself because I have neglected myself in the past. And as women, a lot of us, we do. We neglect ourselves.
We do.
But you have to live just like if you are on a plane. The first thing they tell you is that if something happens and that oxygen mask drop, you take a breath yourself and then you try and assist other people.
Right.
And as women, a lot of times we just don't take that breath ourselves. And I found myself to be doing the same thing. And it mostly started like right after my mom passed away. And I was just so stricken with grief because my mom was pretty much she was the hub of our family, with her siblings and with me and my siblings. And I had to make a choice because I felt like my life was spiraling out of control and I had to make a choice. So I decided one day I would just pray. And I asked God to please not let me be that person that every time somebody mentioned my mom's name, I fall apart because she was not that chick that fell apart at anything. When I say anything, she did everything with perfection. My mom was a list maker, and that was a thing that I wasn't used to, is making lists. And then I thought about it. Well, you're supposed to write the vision and make it plain. That was something that I wasn't doing. So then when I started to pick up on those, just do those concepts that my mom always did, things that I should have been doing all along, I saw my life start to change. And I saw my focus started to change. It started changing from on themes to just on purpose, you know? And that is the reason why I decided that a couple of years ago, I said that I was not going to be one of those people that was just anxious because it was coming up to the anniversary of when my mom passed. So I decided that every year I was going to do something amazing that, she would be proud of. And that's where it all started with me just trying to do things to not so much take my mind off of the fact that was when she passed, but just because I needed to be doing something else. And that's why we're here today.
And you needed to do something, not just do something, but do something amazing and celebratory of her life.
Exactly.
A reflection of who she was. And I think a lot of times that's what we do as women. It's not really about us, it's about others.
Right.
Like you said, and a lot of times we don't take time to take care of ourselves because if we're sick and down and out, guess what?
Right.
People gonna keep it moving.
They are.
And we are the ones sitting there struggling like, oh, I can't be there for so and so, or oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. And so for you to say, you know what, that's not gonna be my story. That's awesome because we have to have that push or something that's driving us to do something other than what we've always done.
Right.
So talk about Cultured Pearls.
So Culture Pearl is my events company. We've had an events company for a while, and initially it was named after my daughter, and it was called Tailor Made Events. And we basically focused on kids' parties. And my family, we always had a catering business, and it's DeChaparral Catering Service. And my mom she was at the helm of that. And when I tell you she ran a tight ship, she ran a tight ship. And how everything, it just kind of, I just saw the turn of it because we would have to prep everything before you cook it. You got to prep it. And I just wasn't that person that wanted to be in there peeling potatoes for potato
Cutting up
salad
onions.
and all of that. I just wasn't that person. So my mom would always say, well, go out there and make the table look good. Do something. Make yourself beautiful. And in her telling me that, that's what happened. I would go out and I would, set up our table and make it pretty. And then we did one event and somebody asked me if I would do their head table. And I said, okay. So I did the head table and it just went on from there. So after my mom passed, I decided that I would rebrand my business. And we started doing more elegant events. We were already catering elegant events, but I decided to start actually decorating elegant events. And that's pretty much what we do now. We do kids. We have cultured kids, and my daughter and my daughter-in-law, my niece, they actually handle that part of it, doing the kids' parties and balloon garlands and all of that stuff. And when it comes to anything that's crystal and glitter, that would be me. So, and we have been very blessed. The community has been more than gracious to us. Anytime I post anything, you can bet we're going to get one or two bookings out of it. So we stay busy. And I mean, I have a full time job also. I work over at ADP.
Wow.
And so my weekends are never my weekends. Yeah. It's just a constant go all the time. But, I feel like at the end that there is a reason for me being able to keep going and keep going, how I've been going all this time. So I'm happy about it. I said, I asked the Lord to bless me with a plentiful plate. I did not know it was going to run over and stack up. So I just don't feel like I have the right to complain about certain things because I asked the Lord to let me eat good, and my plate does run over. Okay. So I appreciate everything and every booking that we get.
Absolutely. And something that comes to my mind is the scripture where your gifts will make room for themselves. And a lot of times sometimes we don't know what our gift is. And all of a sudden people will say, hey, you do XYZ. And you're like, oh, yeah, I do. But it's not really something that we focused on, like, I'm going to start this type of business because it just kind of happens. And it's because the gift is already in us. We just have to have the opportunity, the door to walk through to say, oh, let me expose myself to this group, or somebody sees it in us that we don't even see in ourselves sometimes. The podcast is not my brainchild. The podcast is the brainchild of my producer, Craig. Okay. Out of the blue, he calls and says, hey, Tonia, ever thought about doing a podcast? First, he said, what's Tuesday Talk with Tonia about? I said, just what it says. He said, any men in there? No. So what are you going to do with it? I said, well, we meet. We've been meeting for almost 3 years. So he said, you need to do a podcast. I said, okay, like, if you say so. So evidently he saw something that I wasn't even tracking towards. And so now here we are, and we're doing podcasts. And everybody said, how did you get the hire to let you do it? I asked. There you go. Ask and you shall receive. Like, I have favor. I don't know about nobody else, but I know the favor of God is on my life. And so when I asked for stuff, I'm like, hey, what about? And they were like, oh, nobody's ever asked that before. The day I came up here, they said, ever since you posted that, we've had so many people coming to us asking, can they do a podcast? I was like, so I bring favor with me. Hey, so it's a win-win for everybody. And I think a lot of times we're blessed to be a blessing. I don't take it lightly or for granted. It's not about me. It's about, okay, let me partner with Stephanie. Let me partner with Tracy. Let me partner with whomever. And let's get everybody fed. Because there's enough for all of us to eat. And I'm a sharer. I like to share. I like to sow, and I like to give. And so Kenya introduced us. She told me, she's like, you got to come to this photo shoot. I saw it on Facebook, but wasn't really clear about what it was. I was like, okay. And then I saw Burke County. I said, from Burke County. Okay. She was like, just come anyway. And I had a phenomenal time. It was so, and everybody that saw the pictures, and they were like, oh my God, why can't we do that in Augusta?
And they're still sharing, and I get every notice of when they're shared or when someone makes a comment. Yes. So each time I'm like, I cannot believe it's been over a week, and it's like it's constantly in my feed. Yes. So I'm just overjoyed by it.
Yeah. And so talk about how you came across the She Is movement.
So I'm a person, I love tulle skirts. And I remember the first one I bought was for my pastor's anniversary. And I decided that I really just didn't, because I was decorating, I just didn't want to wear heels and dress up and do all of that. So I bought a tulle skirt, a black tee, and I got so many compliments on it. And I was like, this was just so thrown together, but thank y'all so much. And I was on Facebook one day, and I'll tell you, I was looking at some shoes that had realtor wrote on them, some sneakers. And I'm not a sneaker person, but those just caught my eye. So I was thinking about ordering them, and then the next thing that comes up is the brunch and babes, which I had heard about them before, but I had never, went to look for any information on it or anything. So you all know I'm a photographer and I love photography. And then just looking at the pictures and seeing the unity between those women, it just reminded me so much of my best friends. There's five of us and we're known as the Chippies. And we travel together, we do everything together. Our husbands are friends, and we just have a great time together. And we take so many days out of the year and we go and just do things together. So, and people would always ask me, give me information on how y'all book your trips, how y'all came up with this. And then I just started to see so many younger people doing it because there's like 3 or 4 groups out of Waynesboro, couples that go on these same type trips now. So I was just excited about that. So when I was looking at these ladies' pictures, I was like, you know what? I've been saying that I'm going to take pictures of my friends, me and my friends. So let me just get them to go ahead and order these skirts. I said, and we're going to do something simple. So I went to sleep that night. Something woke me up and told me, no, it's got to be bigger than that. So I got up, I got my phone. Wrong thing to do in the middle of the night. Got the phone, and I'm watching it. And then the video I hadn't seen the video. I saw the pictures. So then I saw the video. And then I'm laying in my bed and I got this music blazing in the dark in my room and I'm watching the video. I said, we have to recreate that. So I talked to a few people about it. And they was like, yeah, just let me know when it is. And when people tell you that, you just thinking, they just telling me something, So then it came to me like a week or so later, because Kenya had said she would do it. Then some people start inboxing me saying, well, I ordered this color skirt. I ordered that color skirt. And I was like, this might be really, really cute. So then somebody asked me, because every year on my family vacation, it's like 30 of my family members, we travel together every July. So every year we do 2 photo shoots. We do one for all the women in my family, and then we do another for the guys in our family. We call them the Good Stock Boys because we have a minister told me that this is the only family I know got one of everything you'll ever need in life in it. And we do. We have a lot of professional men in our family. So we do 2 shoots. They asked me about doing one that I did this summer. I did one and it had these smoke bombs behind all the women. So somebody asked me about doing it. And I was like, I don't want to do that again. I just did that for the family. I don't want to copy that again. Right. So then I was like, well, these skirts are going to be, they're going to be the pop in the picture. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to figure out, I was like, well, I ain't got that many people. So then I said, let me create this invite. So I created the invite and it just went off like that. People were like, and I'm still today, people are texting me and calling or saying, or inboxing me saying, you know what, I hate that I didn't come. Yeah. Or something was going on. Yeah. School had just started. We were school shopping. This is the last weekend for kids to do anything, with us before they went back. And I was like, yeah, you have to catch us in the fall because we're gonna do it again. So we're excited about the fall that's coming up. But that's how it all started. And so I started talking to one of the ladies from Brunch and Babes, just little messages. And actually I had a long conversation with them today. It was like, called me about 3 o'clock today. And I told her, I said, well, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, I hadn't planned on mentioning Dallas Brunch and Babes. I said, because I hadn't officially gotten everything from you guys that I needed. She's like, girl, go on. It's going to be fine. It's fine. So officially, we are now part of the Brunch and Babes. And I paid our charter money today, did everything that we needed to do. Awesome. So there's a training that I have to go to and do with them, which I'm excited about. Yes, in Dallas and Kenya she's agreed to go. Yay. So I'm just excited. I think it's going to be wonderful. And I think a lot of people are going to benefit, especially some of our younger ladies. It's so many young women that are entrepreneurs that they they know how to sell. Well, I take it back. Well, they know what they want to sell, but they don't always have all the know-how about the back end of business.
Right.
Okay, so all of us that are seasoned entrepreneurs, we need to be there to help.
That's right.
So I feel like at best, this would be a good opportunity to actually help some of these young people that are coming along that are trying paparazzi and all this other stuff that are just killing the game. I would have never in my life thought that so many people would be doing as well as they are. I don't know if you know my aunt, Barbara Gordon.
Yes.
From Metro Kirk.
Yes, I do.
That's my dad's sister.
I did not know that.
Yes. Entrepreneurship has been big in my family for years. My Aunt Barbara has never worked for anybody that I know.
Wow.
She's like, she can't work for anybody else.
Right.
So I really feel like that is just part of what I need to be doing. I haven't let my day job go yet because they take care of me well. And we have Savannah State University tuition that has to be paid. So we still hanging on 2 more years. That's all I can guarantee them, 2 more years. But I just think that this is just going to be a great opportunity to lift people up, provide them with services that they need, and give them just network to do some things. I have a couple of people that I've been doing private chef services for when they come in for masters.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you, you can believe some of the business. I get real estate business constantly from those people. So I'm super excited about that. And just being able to fill a room with people that can do something to help somebody else, that's just amazing to me.
That's awesome. That's what this is about. Yeah. So when Kenya said, you got to meet Stephanie, y'all two have so much in common. Y'all remind me so much of each other because I'm the same way. I'm in some of everything. Yeah. And when people hear my quote unquote resume of things I've done or things I know how to, they're like, that don't even make sense. But how do you do this? It doesn't make sense, but it's not supposed to. You know, that means it's God, it's not me. And so helping people, that's another passion, which is why Tuesday Talks with Tonia exists. It came out of I saw a need, and I was trying to figure out how do I help this person doing something that they don't even realize, and it's like leading the young people. It was a young lady. She was hosting something, but she wasn't prepared. She didn't know how to talk. It was a lot of things, and I'm sitting there instead of people behind me talking about the young lady in a church. I'm sitting there thinking how I can help her. Right. How do I go and say, hey, this is what you can do? I even reached out to my hairdresser. I was like, hey, if I bring this young lady, she doesn't have any money, would you do her hair for me? She was like, I got you. I went to somebody that's in the news because she was of a news profession. I said, hey, do they not give you guys wardrobe and do they not do? She was like, not anymore. So I was like, well, if I bring this young girl to you, will you mentor her? Absolutely. So I made all these connections, but never went to the young lady because I didn't know how to approach her. She didn't know me. She was new to the community and I didn't want to be offensive to her. But in my mind, I'm like, I can help you change your whole outlook and give you pointers and tips and put people in your path that can help you get to where I know you want to go. But didn't do it. But God gave me this vision. And because I didn't obey when he told me to move, it was like, okay, so since you didn't do that, this is what I need you to do. And I still was disobedient. I was like, I'm not doing that. Tuesday Talks with Tonia. Who's going to want to listen to what I have to say? What am I supposed to talk myself out of it for 6 months? My sister said, okay, God gonna get you. She was like, God is gonna get you. You better do what he said. And so one day I woke up, I was like, okay, why not? I mean, it's just really a why not? What can I lose from doing what he told me to do? And so the first day, and like you said, you don't know who's gonna show up. I put the invite out there, all these people, I'm gonna be there. 7 people showed up. I was like, really? You wanted me to do this for 7 people? It's not about quantity. It's about quality. So the next time I did it, 14 people showed up. In the first 2 months, every time we met, it rained. And I can't get this wet. So I was like, really? You got me going out in the rain? These people not coming? And he was like, continue to be obedient. You don't know, just continue to be, you're touching somebody in some way, be obedient. And so here we are almost 3 years later. Now it's converted into a podcast. And I have people all the time saying, because of Tuesday Talks, I was able to do this. Because of Tuesday Talks, I got off my shelf. Because of Tuesday Talks, it propelled me to get a job because I saw everybody else working and I wanted to be. So it's not about me or what I think I see. It's about what he told me to do, and whatever happens is because of him. It's the overflow of what's on my life. I try to pour into other people. Like I'm always connecting the dots. You say you do what? Makeup? Okay, I know Tracy, and Tracy does XYZ, and you need to go see
There you go.
Nicole because Nicole does. So I'm a connector, connecting the dots. So you stay at home moms, y'all need love too, because y'all got stuff to offer
That's
too.
right.
And so I mean, it's like women, we your she is. I love that because she is really anything she wants to be.
Anything she desires.
Anything she desires is what your shirt says. And so I was like, oh yeah, I like that. That's me. Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. Anything I want to be. And no matter what people say, people doubt, people like, oh, you sure? So testimony, you saw my Facebook post. Um, I stepped away from a job that I've been doing for the last 4.5 years, but really I've been in that mode for probably about 15, 16 years and serving the public and, coming out of working for a mayor of a city like Augusta. People are like, are you crazy? You quit your job. And I had to pray about it. I did. I prayed. I struggled. I was like, okay, God, if you say, then I'm doing it. And when I tell you, I feel so free. And I'm like, people have started running me down. I have not picked up the phone to call anybody to ask for any business. People have been running me down. So I'm like, okay, God, I know it's you. The timing is right. You're opening doors. You're putting people. You have put people in my path because I'm willing to listen and willing to follow, a lead, or willing to say, yeah, I'll take a risk and do that. Or yeah, I'll sow into your business. Or yeah, I'll talk about your business on my podcast. And so my steps literally have been ordered. I've only been not working. This is my second day of not working
I know it.
in 30 years.
Well, when I saw it, I was like, gosh, she is so brave. I'm just going to be her one day. So, hats off to you. I am going to be her one day.
You're like, one day, just not today.
2 years, little girl, is all you.
It was scary. I'm not gonna tell any lies. I thought about that thing and I was like, oh Jesus, not to have a guaranteed paycheck, not to have insurance. But God is like, I'm the source. Like, what are you worried about? Do you believe me? Either you believe me or you don't. And so I was like, well, since you put it that way. And people are like, are you sure? People are shocked. I'm still getting text messages and inboxes and phone calls and like, we can't believe you left the mayor. What is he gonna do? He will figure it out. He will figure it out. And I think the timing now with everything for women entrepreneurs. We talked about women entrepreneurs 2 weeks ago, and we had 3 young ladies. Tracy was there, and we had two. And everybody is talking about their passion and what they love to do, and how you have to go every day, and you're not dependent on man. You're dependent. It's you and God. And at the end of the day, that's all you need. That's the ingredients for success right there. But a lot of times we get so comfortable in I have a job, I got a paycheck, and no matter what it looks like, it could be tornadoes all around, and we sitting there like, oh, I got to go to work because I need this paycheck. And now 3 people in the last 3 days have said, it's a glow on you. This man that I never met, he is outside. He walked up to me and he was like, I had to come shake your hand. He was like, when you walked in, he said, did you see how my head snapped? I said, I did. He said, he was like, because it's a glow on you. And I said, really? He said, yeah, it's a glow. He was like, and it's so bright. He's the third person that has told me that. I'm like, he said, but when you're walking in God's will, you have that glow. He said, I know church folks that don't have that glow. Okay. I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, thank you, Lord. Because it's not about me. It's about, okay, God, I'm trusting you. You said to do this. I'm stepping out. If you said it, I'm doing it. And whatever happens, it's on you. But you said that my steps are ordered by you. And you said that you would make room for me with my gifts and that I'm already equipped. I'm fitly furnished, fully equipped for every good work. So as long as I'm doing the good work, I'm golden. So it's scary. I'm not going to lie. I have butterflies. I'm like, oh, Lord, in 30 days, rent going to be due, light bill, water bill, car payment. But I'm at peace. I'm like, you'll work it out. You'll work it out.
Well, I've been there before when I left my job and I did real estate full time for 5 straight years. And it was the freest I had ever
Yeah.
been. And
Yeah.
I was living good. I was living fine. Didn't have any worries. And that was because I was like, God is the source of all things. He provided all of these resources that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would start to do is I would take my closing checks and I wouldn't put them in the bank. I would put them on my refrigerator. And I would every time I would remove one, I was like, okay, now you got to put another one up there
Right,
real
right,
soon
right,
because
right, right,
we got about
right,
6 months worth of stuff up
right.
there. And I started putting them up there, and that was my motivation at all times. And then someone called me and asked me if I would come to a job and help them because they had just gotten a new contract and they needed someone. And I told them, I said, okay, I will. And I got pulled back into the system, and I have not gotten back out yet. But and that too is a blessing because I was not looking for a job. Someone called me and asked me to come, and what I should have done was said I would come as a consultant.
Right.
Instead, I let them pull me
Right.
back into employment.
Right. Right.
And then from that job, someone reached out to me about coming to my current employer because of the experience that I had in that job. And I was like, first I thought it was a joke, because I wasn't a LinkedIn person. And I read the email, and then I got pulled into that job, and it was way, way more money than I was making over there. So I told her, I said, look here, I'm going to have to go.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. I got you go. You good. Your startup is started up. Right. So we got to go over here. I got another startup over here that we're going to start up.
Right.
And so we did. I went over there, and my husband was perfectly fine with it. And then I just started to, and when I started to do Cultured Pearl and pick up more business, it was really consuming the time. And my husband travels 100% of the time. So that's why I'm able to do all of this and not have any problems in my home because he travels 100% of the time. He's only home 3, maybe 4 days out of the month.
Oh, wow.
So, and then I usually try and take off those days, but sometimes, our schedules don't jive. And he may be there when we do have an event to do, and he'll pitch in. He fights it a little bit, but he will pitch in, and I just remind him, well, you married a creative.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's my tagline.
Right.
You married a creative, so
Right.
you know what it's gonna bring. And he usually gets okay, and then we move on. But I am really looking forward to the day when I am free enough. I have enough that I can say, you know what, I know God is going to take care of me, and you. I don't ever want people to think that someone tries to guilt you into working.
Right.
You got to do it at your own pace. You can't
It's
just
a
up
season.
and do it. It is.
And when your season is up.
Right. Exactly. You just got to know it. So that means you need to be able to discern God's voice.
That's right.
Telling you that it's time for you to move.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, you're talking about your glow. One of my friends, Natalie Harrington. Natalie has Handled by Natalie. She's a headhunter and she does resumes and teaches people, all these employable skills and how to interview and all this stuff. She's great at it. She's a very resourceful person. And when she saw you on the pictures and I was telling her about you, and she's like, I don't know her. She said, but I just love her spirit. And she said the same thing, that you had a glow. So when you said that, it was like, so she does want to meet you. So I got to make sure, Kenya, we got to get them together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when you said, that's why I looked at you, I was like, I got to plug my friend's business.
Absolutely. And what is it called again?
Handled by Natalie.
Handled by Natalie. And she's on Facebook?
She is on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Her name is Natalie Harrington.
Absolutely. And that's awesome. I mean, that's what this sisterhood is about. It's about how can we support each other? Because I'm all about support, empower, encourage, uplift, build up and build out. Because now we have a younger generation that they don't know their worth.
Nope.
They don't know who they are. And if we don't show them that, this whole generation is going to be lost. And so I think it's on us and on our shoulders to be that generation like our parents were for us and their parents. We've lost that some kind of way. And so we have to find our way back. And so we have to be the pioneers, so to speak. And so I am going to wrap up. We have about a couple of minutes, but today I do want to talk about, there's an event coming up Labor Day Soul Fest, and it's featuring R&B legend Angie Stone. And so this is another young lady that I'm trying to help. She's from Augusta, but she lives in Atlanta. Hadn't been in Augusta for a while, but she's a promoter, and she's putting this show on. And I said, whatever you need, let me know. Whatever resource I have, I will talk about it. So I'm plugging her flyer, and everybody please pick up one. But I have two pair of tickets to give away today. So one will be in here and one will be Facebook Live. So if you're Facebook Live, the first person that responds on Facebook Live, I will give you two free tickets to the show, which the show is on the 30th. And it's at the Augusta Common, and the gates open at 4, and the show starts at 5, and it's rain or shine, so Labor Day weekend. And so first person that responds on Facebook Live will get a pair of tickets, and then we'll do kind of a raffle here in the room once we do our Q&A session. So sorry, Facebook, you won't be here for the Q&A session. However, just know that you have an opportunity to win a pair of tickets to the Labor Day Soul Fest. So before I wrap up, tell me, what words of wisdom would you like to share?
Um, I would like to share, just live. My son has a tattoo that I hated at the time when he got it, but I find myself using it all the time. His tattoo says, "The purpose of life is to live a life of purpose."
Hmm.
So I would say, live a life of purpose. Let's not be stingy with our gifts.
Mm.
Let's not feel like, I got to get mine.
Mm.
Because when you're helping somebody else to get theirs,
That's
you
right.
never know how that thing
That's
comes
right.
back to
That's
you.
right.
So
Absolutely.
let's be free with our gifts. I had surgery the other day, and
Yes, y'all.
Friday
She
I
is
had
a
back
trooper.
surgery.
She is a trooper, and she's here, sitting here
Yeah.
doing this.
So and when I was there, I was really, really, I was just kind of full, and I've never been like that with surgery. So I kind of felt like something wasn't 100% right, and I was right. I'll share that with y'all once the camera shuts
Right.
off.
Absolutely.
So I was right. My spirit never leads me wrong,
Yes.
and I was 100% right with what happened. And I posted that, if when I meet God, I want to be able to say to Him that I used everything that you have. Don't sleep on your gifts.
Yes.
Use whatever you got. If you know that you're good at anything, even if you're not good at it, if you're not great at it, you're okay with it, hone your craft.
That's right.
You never know who it may
That's
bless.
right.
If it
That's
doesn't
right.
bless you, it
That's
may
right.
bless your children.
That's right.
So I would say that. Just live a life of purpose.
Awesome. And today I was at Starbucks at a meeting. This gentleman overheard me talking to the person I'm meeting with, and he was like, I need your card. I need your services. I don't even know me, but okay. But we got to talking, and he heard me, I guess, mention that, sometimes you have that kind of regret. Did I do the right thing? Is it the right time? And you got that nagging thing like, you might not have should have done that. But he was like, two things. If you don't ever see me again, I want you to remember these two things. He was like, one, whether you make $1 or whether you make 1,000. He's like, do what you do with all that's in you. He said, the second thing is, when you get up every morning, look in the mirror and say, my job today is to make sure I don't go to a job. I was like, oh, I got it. So those two pearls that he gave me, I'm sharing with you guys because it blessed me. And I was like, when he said it like that, it just kind of instantly hit my spirit. I was like, got it, God. So that's what I'd like to share with you, Facebook Live and YouTube Live and everybody out there. We're going to shut down for Q&A. I think we have a winner. Do we have a winner?
Leandra Collins.
Leandra, yay! Yay, Leandra. So Leandra wins a pair of tickets to the Soul Fest. Thank you guys for joining us on this Tuesday. We are so appreciative that you checked in with us, whether it's Facebook Live, whether it's in person. Join us again in 2 weeks. We'll do it again. Have a good Tuesday. Let me end this.
That was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed